Hello and welcome back to Focus on Health. I'm coming at you again today. My name is Lauren Buck. I'm the Director of Public Health for the City of Revere. And it's been a while since we've been in studio with all of you, so we wanted to give you some updates about what the Public Health Department has been up to over the last few months and what is coming up this summer for all of the Revere residents out there. First, I want to introduce you to our newest addition, Hajar. She's our clerk for the Public Health Department. Hajar, welcome to Focus on Health, and introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, Lauren. Thanks for the invite and thanks for having me. I have the pleasure to be here. My name is Hajar, and I'm a Revere resident for more than 16 years. I used to work for the Revere Public School for more than 5 years, and I have two beautiful children that attend the public school as well. I'm happy to be a Revere and employee and resident as well. I enjoy cooking, traveling, and discovering new places.
Thanks for introducing yourself, Hajar, and thanks for being here. We're going to give you some general updates today. First, we're going to talk a little bit about COVID. Then we're going to talk about the fun summer months that are coming up. And then we'll end with a brief introduction about June being National Alzheimer's Awareness Month, so we'll give you some information about that. But let's talk a little bit about COVID. Since we've been in front of you last, we are continuing to vaccinate and still encourage all of our Revere residents from 5 and up to get a COVID vaccine. We still recommend that this is the safest and best way to keep your family healthy. We continue to offer COVID vaccines, many different varieties, every week here in Revere. As always, we want you to visit revere.org for any updates about weekly scheduling, or you can always call the phone number on the screen, which is our Public Health Department phone number, if you have any questions about the COVID vaccine. If you have any questions about personal history related to you and getting a COVID vaccine, always talk to your doctor first. We've done a great job here in Revere to get everyone vaccinated, and we're going to continue to offer those services throughout the summer. Many of you have been hearing potentially on the news that a new vaccine might in the next several weeks be approved for our kiddos who are less than 5 years old. So there's vaccines that potentially will be out on the market for our kids who are 6 months to 5 years old. We will offer vaccine clinics for that age group. We always recommend that you visit, again, revere.org for updates on those clinics, and always talk to your pediatrician if you have questions about your kids and getting the COVID vaccine. So we hope to see that soon, and again, we're going to continue to offer vaccines and really encourage you to think about getting a vaccine if you haven't gotten one yet. It is very safe, and it's the best way to keep you and your family members safe. So we also want to talk a little bit about the trends that we've been seeing over the last couple of months. We did see a little bit of a surge in cases over April and May over the last few months. Luckily, what we're seeing with our wastewater trend data and our COVID case count data, which we get on a daily basis, is that Revere and Massachusetts and the country at large is seeing a diminishing of our case count and our wastewater data, or leveling off. So we also want to give you some updated guidance about the COVID trends that we've been seeing in Revere and the country as a whole over the last couple of months. In April and May, we did see a little surge in our COVID cases, but luckily what we're seeing in terms of our wastewater data, which tracks the amount of virus in the wastewater, and our daily COVID case counts, is that we're seeing a decrease over these last few weeks, which is great news. It means that hopefully the risk of COVID will be less over the summer, both here in Revere, in the state as a whole, and throughout the United States, which is great. We always want to remind people that if you are higher risk, so if you have immunocompromising conditions or if you're over 65, that even when the trends are showing a decrease in COVID, that you consider when you're indoors, around a lot of people, masking up, or doing some of those social distancing measures that we used back in 2020. But overall, we're seeing exciting and hopefully encouraging signs that over this next few summer months, we'll see a decrease in COVID overall. Next, Hajar is going to talk to us about some of our other resources in the city related to our at-home COVID test kits, which are still available, and she's going to give you some more details about that.
You're right, Lauren. I just want to remind all Revere residents that we still have the at-home rapid test available while supplies last. It's in the City Hall basement building of 311 window. Feel free to grab some if needed. Call the public health department if you have any question or if you have hard time finding kits.
Now let's move on to more exciting topics. We're going to talk to you a little bit about summer. Luckily, this last 3 weeks here in June have been pretty mild, but as the last few summers have shown us, we can expect that July and August and even September could be pretty hot here in Revere. Usually in Massachusetts, July is the hottest month, so we want you to all start thinking about getting ready and preparing for the heat waves that are definitely coming our way. So we're going to talk a little bit about some general heat safety tips, and then we're going to talk about some other concerns that come along with those hot months. So first, we want to remind everyone that it's really, really important to stay hydrated on super hot days. The people that are most susceptible to hot weather are our kids and our elderly adults, so over 65. So it's really important for you to keep an eye on your kids or your parents or your grandparents. Make sure you're staying very, very well hydrated even before the hot weather comes so that you have a good base of hydration. It's also really important for you to wear sunscreen. Sunburn can actually accelerate dehydration. It can make you feel not so great and run down. So make sure you're wearing SPF 15 or higher, and you're reapplying pretty frequently, especially during those hot afternoon times during the day. If you go outside, make sure you're applying at least 30 minutes before you go outside of that sunscreen. We also want to remind everyone to remember that it's never, never, never a good idea to keep pets or kids in a car when you're running out to do a quick errand, maybe go grocery shopping or any quick errand. Keeping kids or pets in your car, even with the windows cracked, is very dangerous on hot days. So we want to remind everyone, please do not get into that habit. We want you to always think about avoiding strenuous activity during the hottest portions of the day. So maybe taking that walk or going on the run or going for a bike ride, not right during the middle of the day during noon or 3 o'clock time, but maybe during the morning or the evening hours when the sun isn't right overhead and it's less hot. Also, it's a good idea to remember what the signs and symptoms of heat illness or heat stroke are so that you can be aware of you or others around you during these hot days. We want you to make sure that you're keeping an eye out for cramping, sweating, weakness, dizziness, or vomiting. These can all be signs on really hot days that someone is experiencing an illness related to the heat. If that is happening to you or someone around you, make sure you move to a cool area, make sure you move to a shaded area, and always call 911 right away. Those are just some general tips about these hot weather days to come. I also want you to remember that the city is going to be monitoring the weather throughout the summer. We're going to be offering some services, some activities, some events around those hot days. So always monitor the Revere social media pages and our website for updates about what's coming. The Public Health Department is preparing already, stocking up for some supplies for these next couple of months that are gonna come our way sooner than you know it. The next thing we want to talk about related to summer, which I know all of you have on your mind, is mosquitoes. This is a concern that pops up every summer. Revere is located in an area that's very susceptible to mosquitoes, so we want to educate you on the mosquito control program that we already have in place, and then some general tips about what you can do to protect yourself and stay safe. So Hajar, what can you tell everyone about the mosquito control program here in Revere?
Well, we want everyone to be aware of the resources available and precaution individual can take to help prevent mosquito-borne illnesses. With the summer getting hotter and longer, mosquitoes are going to be active for a longer period of time. Be aware of the peak mosquito hours. The hours from dusk to dawn are peak biting time for many species of mosquitoes. Use mosquito repellent. Anytime you are outdoor, make sure you follow the direction on the label. When weather permits, wear a long sleeve, long pants while you're outdoors. We want to make sure you are aware of all the resources available for Revere residents. Revere continue to provide mosquito spraying using a company named Northeast Mosquito Control, and the number will be displayed below the screen. If you have any concern about mosquitoes, in your property, please feel free to reach out to the phone number or the website that's going to be displayed below the screen, or call the public health department and we will walk you through the process.
Great, thanks for that, Hajar. So just to remind everyone, we do have free of charge mosquito spraying for all Revere residents. And if you have any concerns about your property or any space that you're walking through, make sure to give us a call or look onto Northeast Mosquito Control's website and submit a request to have some spraying done. They operate weekly throughout the city during the summer months, and they're actually already working in Revere to help kind of abate all of the mosquitoes that we know are gonna pop up. So it's a great resource that we want to make sure that you are all aware of. Lastly, we're going to talk about Alzheimer's awareness. So June is National Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and so we want to make sure that you guys are aware and have some updates about that. So Hajar, what can you tell us about Alzheimer's awareness?
More than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. By 2050, is projected to rise to nearly 13 million. Most people with Alzheimer's are 65 and older, but it could affect people in their early 40s. And here is some signs to watch out for: an increase of memory loss and confusion, inability to learn new things, difficulty with language and organizing thoughts, problems coping with new situations. To stay as healthy as possible and help reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease, having a healthy, balanced diet, including at least 5 portions of fruits and vegetables daily, and also exercising and being active, staying away from stress. I know it's pretty difficult, but we're all trying. Reduce or quit smoking and keep alcohol to the minimum. Please, if you suspect a loved one has Alzheimer's, please contact your doctor, and there is many of resources and help you can reach to.
Thanks for that great information, Hajar. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Focus on Health. Until next time, stay healthy, Revere.